morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad I could be with you this morning and demonstrate our trading tools and see if we can find a good trade to take. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become a successful currency trader using our proprietary trading tools or indicators. And we supplement that with personalized one-on-one instruction, which we feel is kind of the most effective and efficient way to learn currency trading. One of the great things about our tools is they are the only tool that you'll need to successfully trade. With that, in this session, I focus on a specific trade, something called the 10-point trade, where we're basically trying to get the all the lines to line up from the various charts. So with that, let's get going, and we first need to listen to this guy.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the great things about our program is that we do these live trades. When you are a light, you get access to what's up here in the yellow. When you become a regular member, we've got 3 live trades a day. In the morning at 10 a.m. there's a trade. In the evening at 6 p.m. there's a trade. And again, at 10 p.m., those are all Eastern times. And for those who want even more, there's an extra paid session at 8 p.m. So lots of opportunities to learn. And we do this so that you can make your own evaluation as to how well the tools work and whether you can trade with them. The only difference between you and me is that I've learned how to use the trading tools. I've been trading a little over 3 years. Prior to that, I had absolutely zero experience. So with that, let's get into trading. I like to work off of a little checklist before I start every day. I make sure everything is connected and working. It is a good habit to restart your green chart once a day and make sure my MetaTrader 4 is connected and live. At the end of every day, I want to review the trades that I took, and I'm specifically reviewing the trades that didn't do what I thought they were going to do to see what I might have done wrong. Even being into it 3 years, I still occasionally make mistakes or don't follow the rules that I know I should. So it's good to be reminded of that by focusing. It's about incremental improvement and making progress. On Tuesday, we didn't find a trade, so nothing to review there. As we are technical traders, which means we are trading based on the price action, and our indicators are very good at predicting what's going to happen. We want to know what news events there are so that we can trade around them, because the news does impact currency pairs, and it's just a good habit to know what those news events are and make sure that we're not holding a position when a news event occurs. There are several places you can get that information. I like forexfactory.com. It breaks news events down into yellow, which is low impact, orange, which is medium impact, and red, which is high impact. And today we see at 7:45, there is going to be a bunch of news on the euro. So we are within 2 hours of this. I like to be out of it 2 hours beforehand. So we won't be taking any trades on the euro. And there's some news at 11 a.m. on the Canadian dollar. Their equivalent to the Fed chairman is speaking. So 7, we're cutting it. If we have a little scalp trade, maybe. So euro and the Canadian dollar, we gotta worry about. So with that, let's get going. And this chart, we're going to start with the 6 light majors. It is one of the standard charts. It shows us, this chart shows us 6 different currency pairs. In this case, they're all US based, and we're off of a 1-hour chart. I prefer to trade off of a 1-hour chart. On a 1-hour chart, the moves range anywhere from 5 to 35 pips. And ideally, you will be in and out between 1 to 3 hours on a trade if it moves the way we predict it will. So I start with the middle section of the chart, which is what we call the majors and minors. The red and green line is the major indicator. The blue and black line is the minor indicator. The blue horizontal line is the overbought line. So when the lines are above the blue line, the market's overbought. Likewise, this red horizontal line is the oversold line. When the lines are below the oversold line, the market's oversold. And what we are looking for is a situation where we're oversold and the lines start pointing up. When they point up, it will generally run through the channel, and you'll get a nice big green candle, or we don't see the beginning of this candle, but we catch it on this end and run it down through the channel. Again, we get a nice run. So that's what we're looking for. In this case, we are overbought on the Australian USD, and all the lines are still going up. So it's a little too early here. We want to catch it when the lines are overbought and coming down. Same with the Euro USD. We've kind of run through the channel, and we are still going up. Pound USD, same thing, overbought, going up. Euro or USD Canadian dollar, oversold, going down. USD Canadian Swiss franc, oversold, going down. And US dollar yen, oversold and going down. Now, can I take a trade when we're oversold and the lines are going down? Yes, you can. The issue is the probability, or how much of a run that you're going to get. And for me, it's kind of hard to predict how much more is left in the run. But clearly, you can see if you got in over here, 7 hours ago, there was still a lot of down in the movement. That was 26 pips. So it is possible to get a nice run when something is oversold, but based on my trade plan, I want to take fewer trades, and I want to get the run as it goes through the channel. That's a higher probability trade for me. So it's not surprising that we're kind of seeing the same thing across all the pairs that have the USD in them. So let's go to next chart. Basically, I've cloned this chart and have now put in other non-US pairs. And we're waiting for the chart to refresh. Refreshing. Now our issue here is we've got we're kind of out on the euro, but we'll still take a look and see what we see, just for seeing if we see a good setup, because part of what we're trying to do is show you how to identify good setups. Euro pound oversold going down. Australian dollar yen oversold going down. Euro Canadian oversold going down. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, we're in the middle of the channel, more than halfway. Generally, once the major lines get more than halfway, I'm not as interested in that trade. If this were a little less than halfway, I would maybe consider it. But the other thing to consider is the time of day it is in the country where the pairs are located. So Australia and New Zealand, it's in the middle of the night. I prefer to trade it when at least one of the pairs is daytime. So, and the reason is the move will happen faster when it's daytime and where one of these markets are. So I don't want to take a trade on a pair that I've got to wait 12 hours for it to be morning to take the trade. So I want to get in, I want to get out, and I want to do that within a few hours. Pound yen oversold. Minors are coming down, majors are sideways. So I want agreement with all the lines. So one, I don't like that we're sideways versus up. And two, I don't have the minors are doing something different than what the majors are doing. Euro Australian dollar oversold. Everybody's going up. And I have what's called a double cross. That is, the green line is crossed over the red and the gray line is crossed over the black. So I've got 3 points here. We're oversold. Everybody's going up. And I've got the double cross. Two things I don't like about it is I don't like the steepness on the lines. Over here, I like the steepness. And you can see that we've got like a little kink in the line here where the green line is going from more steep to less steep. On a buy trade, I want it to go from less steep to more steep. So I'm not crazy about this. But if I get 3 points here, and you can see it's kind of the slope is kind of getting a little bit better while we're watching it. Once I have the 3 points, I jump up to the TNTs and I count how many lines are consistent with what I'm seeing here. So this is telling me buy. The 2 orange lines are telling me buy. They're both going up. The blue lines are inversely related. The dotted blue is coming down. That is telling me buy. So 3 of the 4 lines here are telling me buy. I need to have a minimum of 3 out of the 4 lines. So that if I get agreement here, then I want to get agreement down here with the pressure. And if I get agreement against all 3 sections, which are all measuring something different, I've got a high probability trade. And it's the search for those high probability trades. Here I've got sideways, kind of weak down, sideways pressure. But I want either the lines to be going up or I want the green line to be on top. And I don't have that here. So I don't have any point here. I want to have points across all 3 sections. So the fact that, I wouldn't have taken this because I don't like the slope in the line, but I don't have 7 points. I've got 3 here, and I need to get a point here. So nothing there. Let's go on to the next section. Again, just more different pairs. This is unusual. A couple days in a row, we're not seeing good setups. Oversold. Minors are coming down. Majors are sideways on the Canadian yen. Euro New Zealand dollar We are in the middle of the channel and it's kind of switched directions. We don't trade on news, but given what we're seeing here and how close we are to the news item, I'm guessing whatever it is bad for the euro, because we're seeing the euro go down, like, kind of midstream. Some of the news is kind of leaking out a little bit. Pound, New Zealand dollar, we're more than halfway through the channel. New Zealand dollar, yen, we're oversold and we have disagreement between the majors and the minors. New Zealand USD, we're just approaching overbought. And Euro Swiss franc, oversold and kind of sideways. So nothing there. Again, let's go to another group. So far we've gone through 18 pairs. I haven't found something that we like yet. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, we're more than midway through the channel. Swiss franc, yen, oversold, and it's turned and coming down. Euro, yen, oversold and it's turned and coming down. Pound, Australian dollar, we're more than halfway through the channel. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, running out of gas in the channel here. It's starting to go sideways. And Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, we're approaching oversold. So we just have gone through 24 pairs and have not found a good setup using the 10-point signal. So I am going to, one of the nice things is we have multiple signals that we can trade off of. So I'm going to switch gears and go to use a different signal. And this is a little scalp trade that's worth 5 pips. And it focuses primarily on what the thick orange line is doing. And the thick orange line is a scaled number. It ranges between 0 when it's as low as it can go and 10 when it's as high as it can go. So right now, based on its position, it's at 7. When this number is at 10, based on how the thick orange number line is scaled, it is telling us that it doesn't think there's any more up in the movement. If there's no more up in the movement, that is a good time to sell. Likewise, when it's at 0, that's telling us it doesn't think there's any more down in the movement. There's no more down in the movement. That's a good time to buy. One of the things as a good trader, we don't want to just trade on like one little piece of evidence. We want something to corroborate that. So when we see either a 0 or a 10 or within 1 of either end, we will then take a look and see what the majors and minors are telling us and if it corroborates that. And if it does, we got a good trade. This trade is good only at the top of the hour. So when there's less than 5 minutes left in the hour, right now we've got 11 minutes left in the hour. So it's still a little early to check it, but we'll go through and start scouting and seeing what might be available to take in the next when is less than 5 minutes. So 8 isn't close enough. 10 is. So 10 thick orange line is telling us there's no more up. So now I'm going to look at my majors and minors, and I want to see my majors and minors all well above the blue. All well above the blue. And when they are, that's a good trade. Right now, they're just the green has kind of gone through the line. The red is just touching the line. I want all the lines well above. In fact, I want the red line probably a little higher than where the green line is now. And when I see this at 10 and these lines up here, that's worth 5 pips. And this trade is very accurate. It's about 90% accurate. So we don't have this. This is telling me that there's still a little bit more up in the movement. So I'm going to hold off. 9.9. Yes. This is within 1 of 10. So I've got it, and it's actually been 10 for the last 2 hours. So last hour was 10, this hour is 10. But again, look where the lines are. My red line is just touching. I want my red line to be up where the green line is. So we're not quite there yet. So here, if we go back to last hour, you can see oh, it doesn't go all the way down. You can see that, again, the lines weren't touching. You know, the green line was touching, the red line was way shy. So we're at 10, but it wasn't quite ready, and there was still more up in the movement. So 0, yes. And these are shy. They're just touching. They're not deep down. 0.6, yes. 0.7, yes. It's within 1 of 0. These are close. This is of the ones we've seen. This is a little bit better. The one other thing I like to see on this trade is I like to see the majors and minors have moved from overbought to oversold versus something like this, where the lines have been hanging down here, where this is 0 and the lines have just been hanging down here. To get that little 5 pip snap, it needs to have moved through the channel. To me, this is not quite. I'm going to think about this one. I'm going to think about the USD CHF while we continue to look. So let's go on to the next group. Three isn't close enough. 5 isn't close enough. 6 isn't close enough. 3 isn't close enough. I'm looking for 0 or 1, or within 1 point, or 0 or 10, or within 1 point of either end. 8 isn't close enough. 8 isn't close enough. So this is kind of a very easy trade to kind of figure out if it exists or not. 7, no. 8, no. 10, yes. 10, yes on the pound New Zealand dollar. It's been at 10 the last 2 hours. But look where my majors are. Just touching the line instead of way above the line. So we're going to pass. 6.8, no. 7, no. 2.6, no. Two, no. 8.4, no. 8.3, no. 10, yes. Pound Australian dollar. But my majors are telling me that there's still more up in the movement. So even though the thick orange is telling me we're good, the majors are telling me we're not quite there yet. 1.7 isn't close enough. 3 isn't close enough. So we have gone through another 24 pairs with a second signal, and we do not see a good setup today. So we've gone through two different signals and haven't seen a good setup. Sometimes happens. The big mistake one of the mistakes new traders make is they try to force a trade, try to anticipate something is coming before it does come, and that lowers your accuracy rate. We need to be patient enough to find the setup that we want and then take the trade. On my trading, I'm going to take anywhere from 2 to 8 trades a day. And I'm going to wait for what the market's going to give me. And when the market gives me something, I'm going to take it. It's far better to not take a trade and have the loss than to take no trade and not have the loss. Losses set you back, whereas no loss keeps you where you're at and allows you to, keep growing your principal. So the trick is just to be patient and wait for what the market's going to give you. So with that, gang, let's see if we got any questions. No questions. So we will reconvene again on Monday evening. We are here to help. We will help. If you've got questions, go to your coach. And if you have a question, you can schedule some time with me, forexsmarttrade.com/schedule, and I'm happy to go over things with you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on Monday evening. Bye-bye.